Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory exam. It's an exam technique book and it's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and actually how to best make use of the time when you're in the exam room working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And now we're going to crack on and continue with the next exercise. In section G, we're looking at intervals. So if you want to find your PDF document and find information sheet G, that's everything that you'll need to know there. And then turn with me to page 28 in your workbook. And we're going to be having a look at exercise 2. You may also find it helpful to have to hand a quick sketch of a piano keyboard just so you can visualise those intervals. And also I find it helpful to always have this circle of fifths to hand. Even at the very start of an exam, before you do anything else, I would do that. So you've got all of those key signatures ready thought out to keep referring to rather than just keep on having to scratch your head and think about it. And so we're ready to have a go at exercise 2. There's nothing new here. We've now got this compound interval to consider, but that doesn't really change anything. So you could refer to a compound third as a tenth or a compound fourth as an 11th, but I prefer to stick to the compound and then just add an octave on, because that way you can remember that fourths, fifths and octaves are always perfect without having to remember some new numbers. 11, 12 and 15 are your perfect intervals. And so let's have a go at this. If you feel like you're ready to just crack on and have a go, then please do so and then come back into the video and we can check that through together. Alternatively, you can just work through a few with me and then press pause and try some on your own when you feel a little more confident. It doesn't matter if you go wrong though, you're only ever writing in pencil. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. And so here we've obviously got an interval that exceeds an octave, so I'm going to just jump that octave straight away and move from this low C to this next C, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8 away. And so now I can already say that it's going to be a compound interval. And then I know that it's a 1, 3, 5, it's a something fifth. And so that's kind of half the marks already. And now we've just got to decide how to properly describe this interval here. So C to G would be perfect. And then we've raised the top note, so we've made that perfect interval bigger. And so from perfect we go straight to augmented. Need to leave a little bit more room there, I think, but that illustrates the point. And so here we've got a 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, an octave. Octaves are perfect, of course, so A flat to A flat would be perfect, but we've made that top A flat lower with a double flat. We've made the interval smaller by lowering the top note, therefore it's a diminished octave. So diminished octave, or you could say 8VE. Next one, so again you can see straight away we've exceeded an octave. So I'm going to just jump that bottom G up 8 notes to this one here. So this is a G sharp, of course. So we know that it's a 1, 3, 4, it's a compound fourth. Now G to C is a perfect fourth. So therefore G sharp to C sharp is a parallel perfect fourth. So what we have here is a compound perfect fourth. There we go. So you see how I haven't had to think about changing those numbers. You could of course say a perfect 11th here, or you could say an augmented 12th here. I just prefer to use that compound. I just find it saves an extra bit of thinking. And so let's crack on with the next one. So here we've got an interval of 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so we've got a something seventh. Now, B major, we take our lowest note as our key note, regardless of any key signature if there is one. B major would have A sharps, so that would make a major seventh, and A natural would make that smaller and make it minor, and then smaller again to A flat, we've gone diminished, and so we've now got a diminished seventh. There we go. So have a go at this next few yourself, and then we'll go through those together. Just have a go. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. So I'm hoping you've had a crack at these. And so here we've already exceeded an octave, so I'm going to just jump this low E flat up an octave to here. So we've got a 1, 2 of some sort. We've got a compound second. Now E flat to F natural would be major, and then we've raised that F with a sharp, and so it becomes augmented. So we've got a compound augmented second. Alternatively, you could say an augmented ninth. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and we've augmented it. And so let's have a look at this next one. So again, we've exceeded an octave, so we know that it's a compound interval. So I'm going to just jump the octave from this low E flat up 8 notes to this E flat here. Then we've got a 1, 3, 5, 7. So we know we've got a compound seventh. So E flat major, we take this as our key note, has a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats. So E flat to D natural would be major, E flat to D flat would be minor, and then to flatten that again would make that diminished, and so we have a compound diminished seventh. Alternatively, you could refer to that as a diminished 14th and just count 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14. And you could just count that as a diminished 14th if you prefer to. Let's move on to this next one. And so we have a 1, 3, 5, 6. Now, B is our lower note. B major would have G sharps, that would make a major sixth. However, we've sharpened the sharp here with a double sharp, and so that makes the major interval bigger. So that means we now have an augmented sixth. Let's carry on here. So if we're not very comfortable with these clefs, let's just name our notes straight away. Let's do everything we can to make this simple. We've got C, B, A, G, and then here we have 1, 3, 5, 7, that's a C sharp. So we've already jumped our octave, so let's take this an octave higher. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, so we'll take it to this G here. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4th, we've got a fourth, a compound fourth with the extra octave. Now G to C natural would be perfect, and then we've raised that perfect interval by adding a sharp, and so it's now augmented. We've got an augmented fourth, so we've got a compound augmented fourth. There we go. Alternatively, you could call that an augmented 11th, a perfect augmented 11th. Sorry, an augmented 11th, because we've gone from perfect and raised it. That's correct. Saying things twice there. Okay, let's carry on now. So let's name these notes. We've got a C, B, A, G sharp. And here, C, D, E, F, G, A, G sharp to A. Of course, we've got more than an octave here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. So that's a compound second. Now then, G to A would be major. However, we've made the lower note upper semitone, therefore we've made the interval smaller, so we've actually now got a minor second. So we've got a compound minor second. Alternatively, you could call that a minor ninth and just count 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and work it out that way. Let's have a look at this last line now. So if you haven't done so already, I really do recommend you have a go at this on your own first of all. And so hoping that you've had a crack at this, let's work through this last section together. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7th, so we've got a 7th of some sort. If our lowest note is E flat to D natural would be major, because the key signature of E flat major has B flat, E flat, A flat, so we would have a major interval, but we've raised that by adding a sharp, and so we've made major become augmented by making it a semitone larger, and so we've got an augmented 7th. Next one. So obviously now we've exceeded our octave. So let's just jump from this B up 8 notes to this B. And so we've got a B natural. That key signature's been cancelled out, so we're now thinking B natural. So B to F sharp would be perfect. However, there's no F sharp, we've just got B to F, and so we've gone smaller, and perfect made smaller goes straight to diminished. So we've got a diminished 5th, and then of course it's a compound diminished 5th. Compound diminished 5th, or alternatively you could refer to that as a diminished 12th. As I said before though, I prefer to use this compound because then I know which one's major, minor and perfect and so on without having to learn new numbers. Either one is acceptable though. So here we go, we've got a 1, 3, 5, 6, we've got some sort of 6th here. Now D to B flat would be minor because that's part of the minor scale. Alternatively, you could think D to B is major. B flat is smaller, so we've been made minor. However, this is a D sharp because of our key signature. And so we've raised the lower note and made the interval smaller again. So we've gone from minor now to diminished. And so that's a diminished 6th. Let's look at that and go over that again here. So D to B is part of the major scale. D major has B naturals. We've got a B flat, so we've made it minor. And then the lower note is a D sharp, which has made the interval smaller again, and so we've become diminished. There we go. Let's have a look at this one now in the clef. So here we have a CBA and we have an E flat. Now A, so we've got a 5th of some sort. A, 1, 3, 5. A to E is perfect. A to E is perfect, and then the E flat makes the perfect interval smaller, and so we go straight to diminished. So here we have a diminished fifth. And then this last one is obviously greater than an octave, so we know we've got a compound interval. So let's jump this low F to here. And so we have a 1, 3, 5, 7th. We have a compound seventh. Although there's a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, that F is cancelled, so we've literally got F to E. E is part of F major scale, and so that's a major seventh, and so we've got a compound major seventh. Alternatively, you could count that as a 14th. If you count all of those intervals, you'll work that out as a 14th, and then you'll find out that that's a major 14th. Well, there we go. I do hope that's been helpful to you. We've still got some exercises to go at, so there's more practice available in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you can give me a like and a subscribe, that would be really great. There's lots more to come. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the information that's available to you there. See you next time. Bye.